Hey guys, Anime Gypsy here with Shokugeki no Soma chapter 252 review. And there is a lot to review this chapter. We get not one but two dishes introduced. We get hints to future characterization for Rindo. We get characterization for Rindo and a better understanding of Rindo. We also get a major announcement at the end of this chapter. And geez, this is a wonderful chapter. This is a sexy chapter. I really love that chapter. I can't emphasize enough how much I like this chapter because my favorite character in Shokugeki no Soma currently is Rindo Senpai, the nihilist hedonist character that is a member of the Elite 10. And it's not really looking that way anymore because her nihilism and hedonism might be a result of something that happened to her as a child, and that creates an insecurity that makes her want to always be good at cooking. And that's something I'm going to touch at near the end of the video when that question, that bombshell of a question that Aldini asks, where he's like, why are you so afraid? And all of a sudden you see that face, that expression, and she runs away. If you want to know what I think about that, you guys have to stick around, watch the video until that point, and just, after you hear it, tell me what you guys think. Please tell me what you guys think about my opinion on Rindo Senpai. Now, the first part is basically you see the crowd cheering on Central and disliking the rebels. And to be honest, we've seen this in Momo's fight, we've seen this in Saito Samui's fight, we've seen this all over with the rebels, with Central and the crowd. But I have to stress the question again and again. Why? Why would you do that? They destroyed your clubs. You have less freedom. Yeah, sure, like they preach a philosophy of if you follow me, you'll be the best of the best. But in actuality, well, this is the thing. I can't take full credit for this because there's a commentator on my live reaction who said it as well, but I do agree with him. He basically said that if you follow Central's philosophy, you'll end up being a typical cook, a standard line cook. Like, that is the reality of it, because if you're not innovative, if you're not willing to take risks, there is no way you're going to go forward. There's no way you're going to make it head chef. There is no way. There is no way. That's just how it works. So yeah. And this is another thing. I'm shifting gears now. Both characters finish at the same time. And Aldini, the guy that everyone knows is going to lose, presents his dish first. I'm just sick and tired of that trope, to be honest. That common thing that happens in Shokugeki where the first person almost always loses. There are a few rare exceptions, but come on, can't you shake it a bit so it's every other person or every other person or something along those lines? If that continues to happen, then it'll be just predictable. We don't need to watch the rest of it. We know what's going to happen. Obviously, like, the few exceptions are Akira and other stuff like that, but so far, no. Like it's predictable, it's boring, it's boring, and I need to point that out because I'm really disliking that. So yeah, Takumi presents first, and his dish is called calamari rapipini. And when I saw that dish, I was like, wait, what? I've never seen a squid stuffed in my life. One of my favorite seafood dishes is squid. I like to fry my squid. I like to eat my squid fried, but I've never, ever heard of stuffed squid. I've heard of stuffed turkey, I've heard of stuffed chicken, and I've heard of stuffed pigeon. Oh my god, I love stuffed pigeon. Guys, if you haven't tried stuffed pigeon, you're missing something. You really are. Like, I highly recommend you try it out. Best place to buy them are in Azhar in Egypt. If you go to Al Azhar and you buy stuffed pigeons, just delicious. Delicious. Highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. No question. Like, I can't stay off topic. I need to continue with this review. So the dish basically, and these are the notes. I know I'm messy. So what we have here is stuffed. This is the stuffing: breadcrumbs, cheese, eggs, and tomato. I'm like, Jesus Christ! You're putting tomato, cheese, and eggs into a stuffing and seafood. I mean, that. I'll be honest. That sounds disgusting. That really does sound disgusting. But I'm no chef. I am no chef. This isn't my profession. So I can't really judge, but I think that if you're not using tomatoes in a sauce and seafood, then most likely the dish is not going to be that good. That's just my guess, especially cheese and seafood. I have never seen cheese used in any sort of seafood, and this is a first to me, to be honest. It really is a first, and I'm interested. You know, it sounds interesting, but it just sounds disgusting and repulsive at the same time. Now, this is the thing. We also get information on how a sauce used in the dish was made using the guts and anchovies of the squid, where the guts and the anchovies were used and put on the stuffed squid. And Aldini mentions that it's a balance between saltiness and sourness. And I get that the sauce is salty, but what is sour? Like, where does the sourness come from? I just think there needs to be more clarification, because I think if you're not a professional chef and you read that, then you might be confused, like I was. I honestly think there needs to be more explanation, because I'm not that smart. I don't know what is causing the sourness. I do know what's causing the saltness. Anchovies. The anchovies in the sauce, definitely salty. Definitely salty AF, basically. Now, number 4, right after that spectacular dish, and all of that is happening, or actually not, well, no, right in the middle of the judges eating the dish, Courage, the WGO judge that Azami came with, says something downright perverted to Azami. Something along the lines of, "Can I blow on your..." I'm just gonna leave it there so it sounds more dirty. And she also says, she basically starts hitting on Azami. She really does. And at this point, I'm like, we've never heard of Erina's mother. Is Erina's mother dead? Is she divorced? And if she's either of the two, then Azami, you got some cleavages to attend to. Yeah. Azami's like, how does a heartless person like Azami get so many chicks? That is the one question I want answered in Shokugeki. If I don't get any more questions asked, this is the one question I want to know. How does a heartless SOB like Azami get chicks? Like, okay. Next, we see the core and Courage saying something along the lines of, "Let us explain how delicious Azami's dish is by using our bodies." And at this point, I'm like, you got me on bodies. And you see Zenji just with that perverted like look on his face, and you just see the nose like protrude, like it's just distinct. Like, you know that there's a lot of blood that's about to gush out of those those nostrils, and you see Yuki just looking like, really, nigga, like you gonna do that? And it's kind of funny to see, because there's been this running gag about Yuki and Yuki wanting big boobs, and those two cats really do have massive cleavages, breasts, boobies, you know. And Yuki is flat-chested. Now, don't get me wrong, Yuki is one of my favorite characters in Shokugeki no Soma. Her character is pretty good. She's energetic. She provides a certain flavor to the camaraderie in the Polar Star dorm. She really does. But she lacks the cleavage aspect, and they have the cleavage aspect, and it's like a paranoia thing. It's like guys and dicks. Like, that's the best thing I could compare it to. Like, guys always being paranoid about their dicks and always wanting like, oh, I have the bigger one. No, I have the bigger one. It's like, oh, I'm so paranoid because I have such a like that. That's the Yuki dynamic here, and I just thought I'd point that out. There's a lot in that one panel. Now, this is something I found really, really surprising. Azami straight up compliments Aldini. I was like, what? Azami complimented Aldini? I never thought I'd see that. I really didn't. I didn't expect him to. I didn't expect Azami to, be all dirty in this competition. Like, oh, this is the dark tournament in Yu Yu Hakusho, and since I'm a judge, I'm gonna pull all the strings to make sure you lose. Like I didn't think that was gonna happen. He straight up complimented Takumi Aldini's dish, and I think that really does represent how much he's strived, but how much he's advanced. But obviously, everyone and their mothers knew that Takumi Aldini did not stand a chance. He did not stand a ghost of a chance against Rindo Senpai. Now, Rindo presents a dish called kosa, which kosa, originally, I thought it was an Arabic dish called kosa, but it's a Peruvian dish. I was wrong. So I actually find that out in the live reaction too. Found out that I was wrong in the live reaction because it doesn't look like kosa at all. It looks like kosa, the Peruvian dish. So kosa as a Peruvian dish is basically mashed potatoes with fish stacked together, and it looks kind of like a very big sushi roll. And that's at least that's the description that it's given in the chapter. The description I'm gonna give it is it looks like a potato fish burger. It basically looks like a fish burger, basically. It really does. It looks like a fish burger. Originally, the first time I saw it, I thought it was a cake because it just looked so beautiful. But it looks like a fish burger. At least the one that Rindo did looked like a fish burger. And, we're not talking Filet-O-Fish type fish burger. We're talking like really high gourmet, top of the line, only get this in one place type fish burger. Like, that's what I am talking about. So we also find out that we do know that she's a master in abnormal type cooking and abnormal cooking styles, and we wouldn't expect anything less from her. And her flexibility in in the kitchen really was demonstrated this chapter when she used a fish called arapima along with a really local Japanese ingredient, the Irish podger, I can't pronounce it, that type of potato from Hokkaido. So she does show not only an understanding of foreign ingredients and foreign cooking styles, but she also shows a understanding of local ingredients. And that's essential because it's not just that, oh, I'm a professional at cooking Peruvian dishes and Southern American dishes and yada yada yada, so I don't know how to cook with Japanese food. No, she does. She does know how to use Japanese ingredients to her advantage, as was demonstrated in this chapter. And her dish, to be honest, looks heavenly. It really does look heavenly, and just shows you how far she is ahead of people like Soma, people like Aldini. Just no competition. None whatsoever. No. No competition. Now, right after this is over, we are left with Aldini presenting this question to... Oh, actually, no. First, Rindo compliments Aldini, which is important, again, referencing how much he has grown. Now, Aldini asks her a bombshell of a question. He's like, why are you so afraid? And you see that face like it's like, Nani? Wait, what? And she runs away, like, you idiot, and she runs away, basically on the verge of tears. And I'm like, what's going on here? what in God's green earth happened? And I was thinking that the only thing that makes sense, the only thing that makes sense in my perspective, is it's something from her childhood that has traumatized her towards losing, where loss is so bad that she needs to make sure that she's so good in order to never lose again and never experience a certain trauma again. So I don't know what happened in her childhood, but I'm guessing it has to do either with parental abuse and cooking, like, oh, you need to be a good cook, kind of like Satoshi Ishiki, or it's just something that we could never guess. Like, the only thing I could come up with is there is something that happened in her childhood that made her think losing is so bad that she must avoid it at all costs. The other alternative besides her childhood, which I'm very iffy about, is she doesn't want to lose in front of Tsukasa because she likes him, but And this is the thing too, I didn't think a hedonist and a nihilist like Rindo would have such things bounding her. I thought she'd be like, oh, I'm just a free spirit doing whatever the fuck I want. And, you know, that's kind of what attracted me towards her. Like, her blatant nihilism, her blatant hedonism. And it's interesting to see whether that holds after the characterization that she's going to get most likely during Soma's battle with her. And yes, I am sure that it's going to be Soma against Rindo, because Soma is not ready to tackle Tsukasa Eishi, and it's obvious that Erina is stronger than Soma. Again, I repeat, Erina is stronger than Soma. I am 100% sure of this. No doubts in my mind. None whatsoever. So if you liked the video, please leave a like. If you didn't, just leave a dislike. If you have any sort of disagreement with me, please comment what it is down below. Until next time, guys, this is Anime Gypsy, and I'm out. See you guys later. Bye.